Welcome back to Houston Raceway Park. It is time for the finals of the Matco Tools Supernationals. It's been an absolutely gorgeous day. And in Pro Stock Motorcycle, we saw the first round. Well, in the second round, here's how they fared. Matt Hines beat Craig Treble, and David Schultz advanced over Fred Collis. The other side of the ladder, round two. There you can see Angel Sealing and Larry Cook, Andron Brown, and Tony Mullen, the teammates. Mullen advanced. He got the break when Angel Sealing red lit in the semifinals, and David Schultz strapped the whole shot on Matt Hines. And so it is two guys not in contention so much for the Winston title that are racing for the final championship round here.
Yeah, but Dave Schultz is back. He's been running really good with that Vincent Hines horsepower. Tony Mullen, I mean, he had to take out his own teammate. He's had a great weekend, and I think either way, they both had a great weekend. They're looking good going into Pomona.
Tony Mullen, part of that Troy Vincent Team 23. Meredith Schultz, David's wife, starting the engine in the Sunoco Suzuki. Schultz has got the lane choice based on a 7:25 time in his semifinal round win over Matt Hines. Let's go down to the starting line area. Bill Stevens.
Well, Matt Hines made no secret of it. He wanted to take the points lead out of Dallas. He came in trailing Angel Sealing by about 35 points. He set a new national record, 7:15, got 20 points for that. Looked like he was well on his way to winning the race until, as you mentioned, he lost to Dave Schultz in the semifinals. Angel Sealing will leave here with about a 14-point lead over Matt Hines as we head into the last race of the year in Pomona.
And it will be decided out there at the Automobile Club of Southern California NHRA Finals. Meredith and the crewman working on the front of that motorcycle. Can you figure out what it is, Shelley?
No, I can't. Something seems to be the problem, because before he did his burnout, he was upset. Did his burnout, and then there was still a problem. The crew member came over. I don't know. Let's see if he even runs it through.
Tony Mullen concentrating on that tree, puts down the visor, grabs the handlebars, and gets ready to race. Red light start for David Schultz astride Harry Lartigue's bike, part of the Troy Vincent team. Tony Mullen wins his first national event title, and guess where he hails from? Houston, Texas. If you're gonna win, you might as well do it in front of your hometown crowd. Red light by David Schultz by 100th of a second, .390. Just a little too quick.
Look at, I mean, Tony Mullen, it's so hard to win, period. But in your home track, it's even worse, because you got all your friends here, all your family here, and honestly, they're there for a good reason. But you know what? They're in the way. And look what Tony did. He won his first race at his home track, and that's great.
That's exactly right. And you can see that win light come on the scoreboard from the onboard camera on David Schultz's motorcycle. No question there. Well, your champion, Tony Mullen, in the Pro Stock motorcycle category. Here it comes, the four-wheel versions of the Pro Stockers. And a couple of surprises here, if you will. Ricky Smith, certainly, at the wheel of the George Howard, Pete Williams combo-owned Pontiac Firebird. The opponent is Tom Martino in the Century 21 Pontiac. Let's go to Allen.
Tony Mullen gets some hardware. He gets a medal, won your first ever race, and you almost rode that thing in the sand. You got to stop after you win.
Well, I felt my foot burning. I had loaded it up. I must have hit the high chip, and I looked down, and it was I had fire coming out of my pipe, and I had to crack the throttle, and by the time I realized that, the end of the track was coming, but I didn't care. I just gotta thank God for giving me the grace to do this. Team 23.
Congratulations to Tony Mullen, his first ever win.
Hey, he might have made like a motocrosser if he'd gone off the end of the track, but he didn't. Here's Ricky Smith and Tom Martino, two of the best levers in the business. They've both been running very closely matched performance-wise. The advantage in the semis went to Martino. He picked the far lane.
And the driving's gone to Martino all weekend.
Not this time. Hang on to your hats, folks. It's a matter of power now, and Ricky Smith had it, and the reaction time, 692 and 199 miles an hour. Tom Martino trailing, was late at the start, and it made all the difference in the world. 689 for Martino.
I'll tell you, that's a surprise because Ricky Smith's had a 506, a 516 reaction times. Tom Martino's been down in the low 430s. He was late, and it cost him on that run.
Oh, so close at the finish line. Just about a fender length. But I guarantee you, there's Pete Williams in the blue shirt. George Howard not here. They're running a big race at one of his tracks this weekend, but the crew beginning to celebrate. Pete Williams, a pretty good pro stock driver in his own right. Guess what? When we come back to Houston, it is nitro time. The sun beginning to go down. The lights are on. You'll probably see the flames out of this car and others. Don't go away. Welcome back to Houston Raceway Park. It is time for the finals in the nitro categories. We're here at Houston Raceway Park. Let's go down to Alan Reinhardt.
Ricky Smith has gotten his trophy from Eric Mullenmeister, Vice President Sales of Matco Tools, and of course Jackie Beck, Miss Winston, and Ricky, what a day.
Hey, it's been a heck of a day. I appreciate Matco Tools, Winston doing this deal. Hey, Pete Williams, George Howard owns the car. God bless them. Larry Tedero back home. We're coming at you, buddy. I love my wife. I know I'm excited, but I really love this stuff. Okay. Thank you.
What a driving job this guy did today.
Yeah, my memory serves me right. It's been quite a number of years ago up at Sonoma, California that Ricky Smith visited the winner's circle last. It's been a long time is what I'm trying to say. Jim Epler, well, he's been a little bit more recent, if you will. Back about 1998 up at Brainerd, he took a win. Let's see what he can do here. He's got a challenge in the form of John Force.
John Force, what more can you say about the guy? 9-time Winston champion. Epler's got his work cut out for him, but you know what? They both ran a 91 in the last round. Epler's got lane choice. They both ran 310 and 312. This is going to be a good race. I think Force is going to take it with all his experience.
Well, it's called rising to the occasion, and John has proven to us more times than not that he is capable of doing it. And we talked a little bit earlier about the depth of knowledge available to the tuners. Rob Flynn and that whole team from Jerry Tolliver's group now over helping out on this WWF car that the wrenching is headed up by Wayne Dupuy, but it can't match the knowledge and experience of a 9-time Winston champion. Basically, Austin Coyle, Bernie Federley, and of course, the team off of Tony Pedregon's machine with John Medlin there. Let's see how it fares. Could be a very, very good race. Forced to shut it off, and John Force goes 484 at 318 miles an hour, and all Epler could do is coast to a stop, watching John turn off way ahead of him.
You know, you watch Force run day in and day out. First couple of rounds, he's never really quick on the tree. Look at that, 490 left on Epler, beat Epler, and he was right on in his driving. We saw this last week in Dallas also. He seems to, just like you said, rise to the occasion. He did a great job, and he won the race.
Won the race yet again. John Force with a 484, matching up very well with his previous 481. You're on board in Epler's car. Watch the right side of the screen. Whoa, disappearing quick was John Force, and everybody celebrates except Austin Coyle. He even smiled. Hey, the first time we haven't seen that in a long time. Let's go to Alan.
John Force, from the first qualifying session to the final round, you just crushed him this weekend.
Texas ain't been nothing but good to this old Mustang here. And I'll tell you, bottom line, these guys here at Matco coming out here and putting on this race for us. It's awesome, but kind of dedicated this race to my little buddy Matthew. Got run over in the pits and just wanted to race. So he's in the hospital tonight. Wanted to tell him I'm going to send him one of these action collectibles right here. But for Castro, Syntec, everybody, and what was that? That was my buddy Epler. That they call that car.
That's the Undertaker car.
That's the Undertaker. We sent him to church.
Yes, you did.
He wanted to wrestle. I wanted to dance.